So here I am again. I'm hoping that it's recording. It's such a lovely day. I'm just taking my time. I'm not even walking fast. I'm enjoying the breeze on my face and the sun. It's going to be good. Catch some rays. Activate that melanin, what little melanin I have. Some pigment in my skin. It's good to come alive out of that deathly winter that we are slowly but surely moving out of. Now, I imagine there are probably some viewers that would look at my presentation and say to themselves, so what's the big idea? I mean, what is so wrong? What's the whole hullabaloo here? I mean, so the gays want to marry. Let them marry. Yeah. Well, my reply to something like that would likely be surprising to some. Just waiting for the car noise to pass. I hope you can hear this. I agree. If a gay person wants to marry, he or she should indeed marry. But hold on. Listen, I said they should marry. They should have that right. Now, what is marriage? Now, there's the clincher. I mean, if some gay man decides to get himself a fine young bride, and she's content to do likewise, marry him, and they twain desire to become one flesh, I mean, there's no law against that. There's no biblical law against it. It's not a sin to marry. Okay? Not marriage in and of itself. That's not a sin. That's not a transgression. It's not a violation. But, you see, that's the problem. That would be a heterosexual act, wouldn't it be? To join in the flesh with a member of the opposite gender. That's a heterosexual act. But, there should be no law against gay people conducting heterosexual acts. I mean, at least not like that. Right? Do you get my drift? But the argument would be, yeah, but that's traditional marriage. I'd be inclined to agree. Yes, that's right. It's traditional marriage. You see, I don't say that all traditions are good. Okay, there are some traditions that are downright nasty. I think most people would agree that the tradition of smoking tobacco, for example, that's a nasty tradition. It's been around for thousands of years, but it's a nasty tradition, right? But the tradition of marriage is defined as a man and a woman joining to become one flesh. And that in itself is not a bad tradition, okay? That's not a bad tradition in and of itself, okay? People maybe have taken that tradition and done bad things with it. Like, for example, a man may take another man's wife. I mean, just because he may do that doesn't mean he should do that. No, that's wrong. That is marital abuse, okay? He is abusing someone else's marriage, and so is she, by the way. She's abusing her own marriage by giving herself to a man when she's already another man's wife. That's also called adultery, by the way. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, indeed, it is. And whoso marrieth her who is put away committeth adultery, saith the Lord. All right. And those of you who want to scorn that and think it's just fine to go and have sex with another man's wife, well, may as well bear with you, because it's falling on deaf ears. You have no respect for the hearts of other people. Now, so, I guess what I'm just trying to say is, yeah, we need to keep the definition of marriage, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with it. Homosexual people like to remind us how much they want to maintain their own sexual identity, but they're deluded. Okay, they're deluded. I'll tell you why. Because if homosexual people really wanted to maintain their identity, they would keep their hands off the original definition of marriage and leave the things that are pertaining to heterosexual behavior to heterosexuals. But no, they want it all, baby. They want the heterosexual identity as well. So they don't really want their own identity. They just want to rob something that is already defined and identified as a homosexual behavior or heterosexual behavior. Okay? Homosexuals want to take that which is heterosexual and say, this is homosexual. I have a problem with usurpers. Yeah, I do. I really do. People who take a thing and redefine it to mean something else. As if there's not enough confusion in the world, now they do this. There's enough confusion in the world. We need definition more than ever before. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, man, if homosexual people want to form their own union, as it were, maybe they can become apes. I mean, here in my province, you have the option to become an ape. That's AIP, ape, not APE as in monkey, but pretty close, I think. AIP, not APE. AIP is short, it's an acronym. It means Adult Interdependent Partner. It is officially recognized by my provincial government. All the privileges that pertain to legally married people also apply to apes. AIP. But you see, that's just it. The homosexual doesn't want that. He wants to call it marriage. She wants to call it marriage. But that is not how marriage has been traditionally defined. And part of the reason why so many of these traditions have lasted so long is because they're tried and tested. They're proven to work. Homosexuality is pathological, okay? It's sociopathic. The reason it's sociopathic is because it does not produce people. It's anti-society. It's really narcissistic. And it's messed up. All right? Sodomites, for example, are really hooked on something. Okay? It has a real smell about it. It really stinks, if you get my drift. And they love that smell, okay? They love it. They thrive on it. They're addicted to that smell. Feces. They're hooked on feces. It's sick. It really is sick. And they want to call this marriage, you see. No, it isn't. It's not marriage, friends. It never was, and it never will be. And just saying it will never make it so. See, they're not happy to settle for a definition like social union or AIP. No. They want to rob the heterosexual of his or her identity. That's the real agenda. That's what's really going on. The heterosexual is not allowed to have anything that they can claim their own, or anything that is exclusive to heterosexuals. Okay, the homosexuals want that too. You see, the same thing is happening on a bigger scale with men in general. You see how the same sort of thinking that is breeding amongst the neo-feminists and the lesbians, men are not allowed to have anything that exclusively male, okay? That's not allowed. That's why we don't have Boy Scouts Canada anymore. It's just Scouts Canada. Okay, there's nothing that can pertain strictly to being male. That's not allowed. Do you see what's happening with this egalitarian thinking? Now, I want to say something here before I close. I'm getting close to the end. But the word equal, okay? When something is equal to something, it means it is identical to that thing. All right? 2 plus 2 is identical to 4. All right? So, to have equality, as they are saying, we have to say boys are equal to girls. Women are equal to men. That means a woman is identical to a man. A boy is identical to a girl. That's a lie. That's a lie. There is something that is distinguishing both those genders. That's why gender egalitarianism is an oxymoron. Because the word gender itself implies a difference. You can't have a gender unless there is a gender distinction. And that's why gender egalitarianism is a lie. Literally, a lie. An oxymoron. It makes about as much sense as dry water. God bless you. Thank you for listening. What a beautiful day.